You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, Daddy Dearest is coming out on behalf of his son and telling Todd Monken, hey, call me. Let's talk about Shedeur as a coach, but not a dad. Let's talk coach to coach. Somewhere Todd Monken's thinking, really? I got to worry about this. I need to call and talk to you. You know your son's not the only quarterback on this team, right? I guess maybe I ought to have a conversation with Taylor Green's dad and Dylan Gabriel's dad and Deshaun Watson's pop. I mean, is that what we're doing? I get it. Deion, Hall of Famer, okay. But what is the point of this? What is the point of any of these comments? He went on this podcast and he said all kinds of shit, including talking about the pre-draft process and how Shedeur didn't really show up in these meetings, blah, blah, blah. Wasn't wearing headphones, wasn't unprepared, none of that. Okay, so NFL teams, these coaches are lying. Really? Because, look, I heard it was the Giants and the Broncos. It is what I understand it to have been. And that Giants thing, multiple people confirmed Shedeur showed up like that. Not to mention, you didn't help the kid by not letting him hire an agent that could have sat down and talked to teams and tried to smooth over the damage that you did, Deion. And yeah, his daddy hurt him badly here. Remember, they thought Shedeur was going so high that there was some teams they didn't even bother meeting with. And he came out on some show prior to the draft talking about trashing teams for being trash franchises and blah, blah, blah. Hoping his son doesn't get picked by certain. Y'all don't remember that? I don't know what Shedeur can do at this point. Because his entire situation hurts his NFL future. All of it. I don't know if he needs to go to a new team. I don't know what's going on. Oh, and the elephant in the room is, did you want to coach the Browns? He's trying to claim, I didn't want to be an NFL coach. I wanted to stay at Colorado. Really? Because you came right out and said. You came right out and said it. You didn't say you wanted to coach the Browns, but you sure didn't say you turned down the NFL. Deion Sanders said on the Garrett Bush podcast that the date of the meeting hasn't been set between him and Todd Monken, but he plans to travel to Cleveland to sit down with Monken and talk to him about how to get the most out of Shedeur as a player. So let me understand this. Todd Monken's this offensive guru, but you're going to tell him what he needs to do to get the most out of Shedeur Sanders as quarterback. The guy that made Lamar Jackson an MVP. All right. I mean, none of this shit makes sense. Deion Sanders says it's no different than how he feels about other players he's coached, such as the Jags cornerback receiver, Travis Hunter, who he thinks he can provide some insight on. Quote, I was supposed to go actually next week, but I got to shoot a commercial, because that's more important, to Cleveland to meet Monken, because I want to meet him, because I think it's vital that as a coach, not a dad, I tell him a few things about Shedeur, how to get him going, that wasn't asked of me a year ago. I don't understand it. Even a guy like Travis Hunter being drafted to Jacksonville, I've had him for 3 seasons. Don't you think you want to talk to me to ask me what gets him going, what backs him off? You want to know that. So I can't wait to have a conversation with Coach Monken. Look, is it out of the realm of possibility? Do NFL franchises call and talk to college head coaches about a particular player? Absolutely. Pre-draft. During the pre-draft process. But this is different, all right? He's Shedeur's daddy. Honestly, that's sort of a conflict of interest when you get right down to, because it's bringing something into the equation. It's not like Shedeur was coached by Nick Saban and Nick Saban's calling. It changes the dynamic because they're related. It does. Whether anybody likes that or not, it does. I mean, now you're turning yourself into the parent at the Little League game that's getting pissed and wants to talk to the coach. So anyway, this was called The Barber Shop with Garrett Bush, by the way. Deion thinks the Browns are putting together a team that can win soon. Quote, look at the rookie class last season. Quote, the rookie class this season, who I know they haven't played, they haven't put it on the grass, but they're building something that's tremendous, and they're not too far away. Of course, they need stability at the quarterback position. Of course, they need stability on the offensive line. Everything else, to me, they got it. They got it. They also have reigning NFL Defensive Player of the Year, Myles Garrett, till they trade him. Deion gushed about what the Browns have in Garrett, and Deion strongly believes they shouldn't trade him. Oh, now we're giving advice on what to do with the players in the franchise. They got a killer on defense. I'm tired of y'all talking about trading him and getting rid of him. That makes no sense to me. It's a once-in-a-lifetime man. That's a once-in-a-lifetime man that you don't see no more. I don't get rid of that unless I could get your mama, daddy, your uncle, cousins, and everybody in that trade. Because that's a grown man. That's a winner. That's a winner. So we got Deion now wanting to get involved with personnel decisions. I understand he can give his opinion in this, but hell, he's wanting to go meet with the coach. Isn't it interesting? You got to wonder, because I want to know this. How many coaches that were on the market turned down interviewing for this job with the Cleveland Browns? John Harbaugh, we know he talked to him. Sean McDermott, was he like, nah? Did they talk? Did they even call about Mike Tomlin? Or did they get him? He was like, no, going to TV, nothing to see here. The Browns, I think, have a ton of talent. I do. I think they got a lot of potential. I told you, I'm rooting for Shedeur. But this crap don't help Shedeur Sanders at all. It doesn't. His daddy got in the way of the pre-draft process. Should have hired an agent. Should have went to the combine, which he did, but you should have thrown. Went through every drill. Vertical jump. Ran the 40. All of it. Met with teams professionally. Anything else you could have done. Senior Bowl. Any of it. I think he had another year of eligibility left, though. Because there was talk of him going back. Regardless, it was the pre-draft process was handled poorly, and teams nailed you for it. By the way, an agent guides you through that process and what to do and who to hook you up with, to train with, and all this. But Daddy knows best, huh? By the way, how's Colorado's program looking right now? Question mark. And guys, I like Deion a lot, actually. You know, I came up during that time when in Deion's heyday. Huge Deion Sanders fan. No, Todd Monken shouldn't be sitting down. If you want to sit down with Deion and shoot the shit on things unrelated to your team, I ain't got no problems with that. Of course. But to specifically talk about your players, including one he's kin to, nah, you can save that. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.